everyone, to the Four Knicks postgame show tonight in Milwaukee. Boy, the Greek Freak, he is amazing. Unstoppable tonight. Look at him go down low against all those Knicks. Giannis Antetokounmpo tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 37 points in only 22 minutes of playing time, and when he's hitting a three, it's impossible. All Milwaukee tonight for the third time this year over the Knicks, 128-102. Great to have you with us from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pito, Alan Hahn, and Wally Zerbiak. MSG 150 final is coming up next. A lot to get to in the world of baseball. More fallout in the wake of what's going on with the Houston Astros and all that sign stealing. But first here, the Knicks. And you know what? Every time they play the Bucks, it seems like the Bucks show everyone why they're the best team in the NBA.
I think they do that to everybody in the league. Does it feel like that? Since Christmas Day, and they got blown out, they were embarrassed on Christmas Day, they have won, 10 of their last 12 or 10 of their last 11? Like, they've gone on a tear. So that game you thought maybe exposed them a little bit. No, it didn't. I mean, they're just blowing people out. They were a great team.
36-6.
That's really good. And this team is not... I mean, they get up 10, then they want to get up 20, they want to get up 30, they want to get up 40. I mean, this team just has another gear that not too many teams have in the league with the way they can score on the offensive end of the floor. And then defensively, they're very long, they're very active, they're very athletic, and they want to run, they want to push. It just seems like they're playing the game and fast forward. Yeah, they want to step on your throat, they want to bury you, they want to send a message. They blew out the Knicks 3 times, 20-plus victories in every single game. And that's the way they play. That's why this team is going to be really good come playoff time, because not only are their starters very good, and they can build themselves a nice little lead like they did in this game. They were up 18-4 to start the game. But then when they come in with their bench is solid. They go 10 deep, 12 deep, that can really put a hurting on you. And tonight they put a hurting on the Knicks the whole 48 minutes.
And something I thought Coach Bud did was really interesting. As you saw, again, like Wally said, so it starts out where it looks like they're going to blow the Knicks out. It's 18-4. Then the Knicks make a push, and they get it to 23-21 in that first quarter. And it's interesting. Now it's a 6-point game going into the second, and Coach Bud decides, all right, this is a bench's moment right now. I'm bringing Giannis into the game. The MVP comes in the game. The Knicks bench was in the game. And he just pretty much that was all she wrote. Like, he made sure he just dominated. They scored 7 straight points. They take the early lead, and it just, that pretty much was it. And Wally, like, when he turns it on, it's impossible to stop him. He's like a freight train. It's very similar to LeBron James when LeBron was younger. When he gets downhill, you can't get in front of him.
Yeah, he just blows by shorter defenders. That's Reggie Bullock, who's a good perimeter defender. And then, I mean, Mitch tried to guard him a few times, but he overpowered Mitch.
Well,
I mean,
that's that Euro step.
It's just the mobility, right, Wally?
It's the combination of the mobility plus the athleticism plus the size plus the strength. I mean, this guy's got serious strength.
And then he hit 3 threes.
I know.
He's not supposed to do that.
Threes, it's just unfair because it's so easy for him to get to the basket and finish over you. He's like a Mitchell Robinson body in a guard game. I mean, it's just unfair. Think about how long and active and the alley-oops that Mitchell Robinson gets. But think about if Mitchell Robinson had a guard game. I mean, that's what Giannis is. And now he's developing a jump shot, and it's just scary how good this guy's becoming.
Think about it, he's 6'11", 6'10", but a 7'3" wingspan. So he's got that going for him. And you remember, his first year in the league, as anyone at the age of 19, he struggled. Couldn't shoot basketball. He was a low percentage shooter. He had to go through the lumps like R.J. Barrett's going through, like a lot of young players go through. He got stronger. He got more mature. This isn't an overnight sensation. This is a guy who has continually worked and built himself up into the player that he is today. He took his physical tools, his physical talents, and then he could put the work in to find, okay, what kind of game am I going to have at this level? Because there's a lot of things that he's doing. We've never seen anybody do things like that. I mean, to get down the floor in 3 strides and dunk the basketball, finish around the rim the way he does. Like, that's what I think is unique about him, but that's also the work that you put in the offseason to continue to develop your game, is to get with somebody that sees what you have physically. And then they're able to say, okay, well, this is the type of player you're going to be. And when you look at the Knicks young players, you look at a Kevin Knox, and you say, well, what does he want to be in the league? He's got to figure out who he's going to be. Giannis figured it out, and then he spent offseason after offseason getting better and better and working on that. Now,
we debated in the pregame a variety of topics. How about throwing it out there for you guys? Is he the best player right now in the NBA?
Yes. He's my MVP. He's got his team with the best record in the league at 36-6. I mean, this guy's numbers are scary good. He does it on both ends of the floor. He's a first-team all-defensive player also. So he blocks shots, he gets steals, he shoots a high percentage. Now he's shooting threes. I mean, I don't know how he's not the MVP right now.
Well, because LeBron James is. I mean, LeBron James has his team at 33-7.
LeBron
the Lakers'
isn't even
best
the best player on his team.
That's insane. That's insane. You were his
Anthony
teammate.
Davis.
How dare you? You were
Anthony
teammates
Davis
with
is
him.
averaging 3 more points than him, and they are the Lakers of the Lakers right now because of Anthony Davis.
Is Anthony Davis a better player because of LeBron?
All right, here's a question.
LeBron's shooting 65%.
It's a good thing I already won the one-on-one before.
If LeBron was out and Giannis was out, which team would be hurt the most?
That's a great point. I think the Bucks. The best thing about the Bucks is how they built themselves around Giannis. Again, it's a franchise. Recognize what you have.
Think about if Giannis went and recruited a future Hall of Famer. How good his team.
I don't know.
Would be.
Can he play with another superstar?
Yes.
You think he could?
Absolutely.
That dominates the basketball.
Yeah, his game can play with anyone. He doesn't dominate the basketball the way LeBron does. He gets the ball and then he just takes it to the basket.
LeBron's having a career year in assists right now.
No, I know, but LeBron dominates the offense by orchestrating pretty much everything and then, making the final pass.
Yeah, I think the Bucks are a better built team around Giannis, which is what it's
check out
allowing him
LeBron
to be
and
great.
Giannis's usage. How much they have the ball in their hands.
I still think it's apples and oranges because the Lakers don't have the same kind of bench the Bucks do. It's a different kind of team.
Lakers have Rondo.
Okay.
Howard 5-time All-Star.
Howard had 21
Dwight Howard,
last night.
10-time All-Star.
Old.
Yeah, but still, they look pretty good.
Why do they look good? Why do they look good?
They don't play with LeBron on the floor.
In the world right now.
No, but they don't play with LeBron. Dwight Howard is on the floor with Kyle Kuzma, with Caldwell Pope, who comes off the bench, and with Rondo.
Caruso's been really good for them.
Caruso, yeah.
Caruso's been something, huh? I mean, he's been great. But we're losing track of what we're talking about, though, with Giannis. I think not even close is insane.
LeBron's probably third or fourth in the voting in MVP. Harden is ahead of LeBron. I love LeBron, believe me. He's playing great.
Can't wait till we see LeBron. I can't wait to tell him.
Here's the one thing about Giannis. He did not come through in the playoffs. They sagged off of him in the playoffs last year, and they nullified his effectiveness.
Well, I also referenced that Christmas Day game against the Sixers because the Sixers are a type of team they're sort of built to try to match the Bucks because they have that size. They can build that wall, force him to take the outside shots. He looked terrible on Christmas Day. The Bucks looked terrible on Christmas Day, and that looked like a blueprint on, okay, this is how you can beat the Bucks.
That's how they did in the playoffs, right?
And it's exactly. But, since then, of course, they're just mowing through opponents. So the Sixers might have made it look easy, but it's not easy. But they do have the blueprint to beat them.
They just had one bad game.
Fair enough.
All right.
6 losses.
I still won one-on-one pregame, so you're still having a bad game.
That was.
But that's because I'm not a good judge.
You're not.
Julius Randle, excellent tonight. Another excellent game.
Good start.
He had 14 points in the first quarter when the Knicks were down by 14 and actually pulled it within 2 before the Bucks blew it wide open in the second quarter. But Randle, guys, 14 in the first quarter, finished with 25.
Yeah.
Tough matchup too, Wally.
Hey, it was a tough matchup against Giannis, but you got to try to match Giannis's production. And Julius Randle kept the Knicks in the game in the first quarter, but the stat of the night, which you're going to allude to, is when the Knicks shooting guards shoot a combined 0 for 15 and 0 for 8 from the three-point line. It's tough to keep yourself and your team in the game. Now, those are prolific numbers. 10 for 20 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3, 2 for 2 from the line, 15 rebounds, 3 assists. That's a good night at the office. Now, if other guys would have stepped up and played their roles, made a few shots, R.J. Barrett was great. He knocked down threes. He had a really productive basketball game. There are just too many holes at times in this Knicks lineups, and you're going to allude to that stat about the shooting guards, Bullock and Dotson, just really struggling from the outside.
And Elfrid Payton, 1 for 6, only gave you 2. So really, 3 of your starters. Gibson doesn't score.
Elfrid was in a bad mood.
He got thrown out.
He got tossed.
Yeah, well, he was annoyed at the officiating from the very beginning, so there was something going on there with him.
Chippy.
But you get 0 points from Taj, you get 2 from Payton, and you get 3 from Bullock. And as you mentioned, I mean, the 0 for 15 and 0 for 8 from 3 from your 2 shooting guards, and Bullock was 0 for 8, 0 for 4, and Dotson 0 for 7, 0 for 4. I mean, it's hard to keep up with a team that scores at the rate that the Bucks score at when you have 2 players that shoot that many shots and none of them go in.
They're supposed to be shooters.
That's it. Look, that's the issue. When the Knicks are trying to make additions and build and do what they've got to do, shooting has to be a priority.
Right, R.J. Barrett, career high in terms of threes made with 5. On him coming up, and also Rebecca Harlow, a preview of what she will be working on.
Well, the Bucks have the reigning MVP and a whole bunch of guys who love to run around them tonight. You don't have to look much past the fast break points to see the difference in this game tonight. 26 for the Bucks, just 6 for the Knicks. But again, a great night for R.J. Barrett. Over the last 2 games, 13 for 16 from that free throw line. So a lot to catch up with him about after this one. I'll be heading into the locker room coming up next.
Rebecca, thanks. So the Knicks hit the halfway mark of the season at 11-30. Mike Miller is now 7-12 since taking over for David Fizdale. His post-game comments coming up.